Yo, what up, my little tubers? We're back for some more drafting here on Magic Arena. We got some Strixhaven flashback currently. It is a premier draft as well, so it is ranked, but it is best of one as the only option. But thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. And don't forget, you can check out cardkingdom.com/Numot for all of your Magic card needs. Thanks for checking out my affiliate link with them. So this is the set of quote-unquote schools. It's supposed to have a school party theme. You have like Witherbloom and Auric and, well, a bunch of school name type cards. Anyways, they fit into their own color pairing. This was a format that was pretty darn fun, as you had these lesson cards. You can see here, for example, Sorcery Lesson, and those are cards that you can grab from your sideboard with things that have the ability to learn. Now, I didn't go over my first pick very well, but I opened an Extus, the Auric Overlord, 2/4 double striker for 4. Magecraft was a thing in this. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, return target non-legendary creature from your graveyard to your hand. So Extus was really, really good. Black-white was the more aggressive strategy in this format, but one of my favorite things to do in this format was the like 4 or 5 color control-y decks. We're getting past a second pick Dragon's Guard Elite, which is kind of crazy. Oh, you'll note that Magecraft just means whenever you cast insert sorcery. They all have different abilities when you do. So this one, for example, puts a 1/1 counter on itself. This one returns a creature. But yeah, Black-white was the more aggressive strategy. Blue-red was like a spell combo-y strategy, control-y strategy. A lot of good different archetypes you can use. You can see another lesson here. It doesn't look like we have any cards that actually learn yet, but I will point them out when we get them. I'm going to take the Dragon's Guard Elite second pick. I'm not sure what they took over it. It looks like a common even. But this card was just a 2-drop that could win the game on its own. Okay, another really, really strong pack here. Here's one of the cards that have Learn on it. And a card like this doesn't look that great initially, but Learn is effectively drawing a card, and there are sometimes specific cards. You can draw removal spells, you can draw card draw effects like this. This is Introduction to Prophecy, a lesson again. So you do have to draft them, and you kind of have to draft them a little bit aggressively. And when you do, you often just put them into your sideboard. But if you get 3, 4, learn cards, then it's just so much easier to be able to grab them from your sideboard with the ability of learn than it is just having them in your main deck. So Learn is a very, very powerful mechanic. What are we going to take here? We got past the Exponential Growth. This card's fun, though not necessarily really, really good. I think Rip Apart's probably the best card here. But then we also have like Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Red-white wasn't particularly great unless you did like a more Jeskai control-y thing. I'm just going to take the black removal spell there to go along with the Extus we already have. Okay, pretty good pack. This is one of the more common removal spells that people would take for their sideboard. This is an Introduction to Annihilation. It doesn't look that good, and if you just put in your main deck, obviously it's not that great. But if you're able to quote-unquote tutor for it with a Learn card, well, then it gets a lot better. We have a Lash of Malice here. Decent enough early spell removal. Combat Professor. This was actually a pretty nice one. 4-mana 2/3 flyer that gives a creature vigilance and +1/+0 on your combat step. Study Break. Again, just a good learn card. So maybe gains you a little life, or maybe pushes through a little bit of damage, but also can draw you a card. I guess we'll lean in towards the black-white aggro. I kind of want to take the Lash of Malice, but I guess I'll go with the Combat Professor here. Okay, we're seeing a lot of blue-red stuff now. Elemental Masterpiece was pretty sweet. So this is not a format like All Will Be One. This format could get really, really grindy. Games could go extremely long. And you have all of these lands in the format. So one for each school. This is the Silver Quill. That's the black-white. And they all enter tapped. They all add the 2 colors of that school. And they also have the ability to scry one. So these lands were very, very useful in the late stages of the game. It just helped set up your draws. I'm going to go ahead and take the Campus here, as it does look like we're kind of leaning in towards that strategy. Okay, we're getting a Cram Session here. I affectionately call this card Time Walk. 4 mana, gain 4 life, learn. I guess if I'm in black-white, it's not going to be as good. We have one of these commons. These type of cards we've seen many times. You have to pay one, but they can tap for any other color. There's a Lorehold Campus here. That's not particularly exciting. I'm okay just to take the Cram Session. All right, we'll just take our first lesson card. 3 mana, make a 3/2. So you can just imagine like Cram Session, gain 4 life, and it draws a card that makes a 3/2, for example. I think the number 1 lesson is the, and I'll point it out if we see it, of course, is the Weather the Storm. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a lot of the, or there's all of the mystical archive cards in the format too, so you can get things like Approach of the Second Sun. But as I was saying, the best one is Environmental Sciences, the best lesson. It's a 2 mana colorless sorcery that you gain 2 life and then search your library for a basic land and put it into your hand. I guess I'll just take the commons here, as there's not really much else in that pack. Okay, we're getting the Lorehold Pledge Mage back. This one was for the Boros deck, but it's also fine if we end up in black-white aggro, of course. Make Your Mark is also not a terrible trick if you're going to end up in that deck. I guess we might not be playing the green, though. So maybe no Dragon's Guard Elite. Exponential Growth coming back around. It's not a very good card, it's just a fun card. But yeah, like I said, this format is generally going to be much slower in comparison than what we're used to in All Will Be One. You don't necessarily need to have 10 2-drops to survive, but if I'm going to end up in black-white, then I do want to have a lower curve. I can't say this deck is particularly exciting right now. What does this Awaken the Blood avatar do again? As an additional cost, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This costs 2 less to cast. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, make a 3. Yeah, that's fine. Like Arcane Subtraction coming around pretty late. Decent combat trick plus learn. I think the most fun uncommon in the format was a card called Rutha, and that was the blue-red card. What is blue-red called in this format? Well, whatever blue-red is, I can't remember off the top of my head for some reason right now. But it's a 3 mana 1/4 that you can pay to, return Rutha to your hand, and copy an instant or sorcery. So there are a ton of good instants and sorceries in this format. And Rutha was just a really fun one to play with. Whenever one of our cards are put into exile during your turn, put a 1/1 counter on this. This was played in some of those white constructed decks, but I don't think it's particularly good here. Okay, on to pack 2. We opened a Silver Quill command. Pretty good after opening Extus. This is one of the weaker commands, though. 4 mana for 2 of the abilities of a creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying. Okay, whatever. Return a creature with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Fine. Draw a card, lose a life. Target opponent sacks a creature. So I'm going to take it here. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Eliminate, which is our Mystical Archive card, is a better choice. We have one of the top commons in the format in Heated Debate. 3 mana instant, can't be countered, deals 4 damage to target creature or player. Very, very good. I bet you I'm supposed to take Eliminate over the Silver Quill command. Yeah, let's do that. It's just, like, you compare this... Oh, Prismari, that's the name, Prismari. You compare this to, like, Prismari command, and it just... It doesn't do much. So right now we have a 3-drop, 4-drop, 4-drop. And only a Spirit Summoning for learning. Although I guess I only have Cram Session right now, which we might not even end up running if we don't find either some more better lessons or have some other reasons. Like, Cram Session can trigger the Magecraft, sure, but not entirely worth it, perhaps. Yeah, I don't know if this deck is going to end up very good. Hopefully, we get past some goodies. A lot of decent 2-drops in black and white. In white, you can get like a Magecraft, a 2/2 that gets +1/+0 whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. Vanishing Verse, that's pretty sweet. Exile target mono-colored permanent. Oh, here's one of the better lessons that you can pick up for sure, especially if we're in Auric, and that is the Inkling Summoning, 3-mana lesson that makes a 2/1 flyer. Owlin Shield Mage is okay at the top end if you want to. Pretty sure you want to just keep taking the cheap removal though. Black Green had like a life gain rather theme in it, so Overgrown Arch here is absolutely fantastic. Great early blocker that gains you some amount of life, and then you can sacrifice it to learn later on. Very, very good card. There is an Apprentice in each of the colors. I think the Black-White Apprentice might be one of the weaker ones. If we see it. Yeah, let's go with the Vanishing Verse here. Natural Order, the, what do you call it? Mystical Archive, kind of funny. Okay, what do we have now? We have a Pestilent Cauldron. I don't think that's good enough. Defiant Strike is okay. Beaming Defiance is pretty good. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. I don't mind running like one Defend the Campus. Defiant Strike's really good with all the Magecraft cards, I guess. And it's probably going to be, yeah, it's definitely going to be easier to get Beaming Defiance since this is Archive uncommon. Picking up a lot of the tricks, but don't really have the creatures right now. Not a huge deal, but... Oh man, we're getting past an Uvilda and Nasari. This card is a bomb. The blue side of things is not that strong. But the red side is amazing. So it's a 5-mana 4/4 on the red side. That at the beginning of your upkeep, you exile the top card of each opponent's library, and you can cast those spells, and you can spend mana of any color. I guess we could take that and stay open, but right here we do have a couple of very good cards. We have Hunt for Specimens, one of my favorite learn cards. You make up 1/1 Pest that learns, and there's also another Onslaught here. Another good lesson is the Necrotic Fumes. I'm not going to take the red card, even though we could almost kind of move into that. I'm going to take the Hunt for Specimens here. And I'm going to take another. Okay, that's great. So that gives us 2 ways to learn currently, and we have the Spirit Summoning for now. Passing an Expanded Anatomy kind of sucks, because that would be a decent lesson to have access to, but it's more important to get the learn cards than it is to get the lessons, right? Because if you end up with 5 lessons, but then only 1 way to learn, well, then you're only going to be able to grab 1 of them at best, and you're not going to, like, you're only going to have 1 learn card in the deck to draw to. But if you have like 5 learn cards and then 1 lesson, you can always seemingly grab that lesson. Plus, you have to remember with learn, if you don't have a card to go grab from your sideboard, you can instead choose to rummage. So discard a card that's already in your hand and then grab a new one. So it's never truly a dead card. Exhilarating Elocution. I don't mind this card. I don't think it's that great, but this is the right deck for it, assuming we can get the creature count up. Could also just take Defend the Campus, which is like okay removal. I guess I'll take the Exhilarating here. Alright, well, can get the Defend the Campus now anyways if we want to. Or we could take Ephemerate. Ephemerate Combat Trick. We don't have any creatures that really have good ETB abilities, though. Yeah, so that doesn't really matter. Alright, I'll just take Defend here. I might need to start taking other colors, because our Black-White is looking really weak. Could go more of a Mardu style. I really like this Reconstruct History. It's such a good value card. Okay, maybe. We've seen some number of the Lorehold lands go around too, so maybe we can get some of those back. There's the Beaming Defiance on the wheel, but I can't even afford to take that anymore. Again, we just have too many tricks. I need some more actual creatures, so let's just take this Unwilling Ingredient. Looks like the opponent to our left, the person on our left, might have actually DC'd, because they've been stuck on packs this entire time. So it could be that the auto drafter next to us is kind of taking the cards we wanted. I guess I'll just take a Mythic for 40 gems. So some people have asked in the comments, what do I mean? If you have a full collection of a set, so like I have every Strixhaven card, anytime you take a rare or mythic, it instead turns into gems. Because your set is already completed. There's the Pestilent Cauldron on the wheel. Our deck's going to be very bad. I'm going to take another Make Your Mark for Hunt the Specimens, I guess. I'm hoping pack 3 is better for us, because again, it feels like this person to our left is disconnected. So hopefully pack 3 we can get the goodies that we're looking for. I might just need to run something like this Stonebinder's Familiar. It has synergy with the ingredient. It has synergy with Vanishing Verse, I guess. Like, I really hope I'm not running Ageless Guardian. If this was all of the one, a 1/4 for 2 would actually be an okay blocker in the early game. But we're not playing all of the one, obviously. Alright, pack 3. We opened a Compulsive Research as our archive. We also got a Valentine and a Lisette. Both of these are quite good. Even the 1-mana 1/1 lifelink is pretty strong, especially if you have ways to pump it up. So I'm okay taking this. It's a 1/1 lifelink menace. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, you may pay 2. If you do, you make a 1/1 pest. What are we passing here? We're passing another Learn card, the Guiding Voice. Passing another Lesson, the Expanded Anatomy. Passing Brackish Trudge. This is better for the green-black life gain pest deck, but I'm okay just to take the 1-mana 1/1 with value. Here we go. Eye Twitch is one of the better uncommons in the format. It doesn't look like much, but a 1/1 flyer that learns when it dies is actually extremely powerful. There's one of the 2-mana 2/2s I was talking about as well. Another Guiding Voice. Could take the Owlin Shield Mage now over Spectre of the Fens. That seems okay. Ooh, isn't this card really good? Yeah, Dramatic Finale. This is one of the bomb cards that you can pick up if you are in black-white. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die, you make a 2/1. So, kind of nuts. Anytime a creature dies on your side, as long as it wasn't a token, yeah. Just hard to beat that value, although I don't actually have that many creatures in my deck right now, and we're passing quite a few good ones. We're passing another Onslaught. We're passing the Silver Quill Pledge Mage. Oh, it's not Auric. This is Silver Quill, not Auric, right? Auric is the name of the clan, but anyway. Take the Dramatic Finale. Flunk is also amazing removal. 2-mana instant, target creature gets -X/-X, where X is 7 minus the number of cards in that controller's hand. So early game, it always... Late game, it always kills something, right? X is 7 minus the... Yeah. Late game, it like always kills something. Early game, you can still kill something small. Guess we'll take a Mage Hunter now. We just need creatures. Could also take Expel, I guess, and go the full control-y route. This Exhilarating Elocution is not going to be very good in our deck. These Make Your Marks are also pretty weak here with so few creatures. Gosh, I'm like black-white control. Ugh, and we're just getting no playables here. That's really bad. Okay, another Owlin Shield Mage is fine. Cogwork Archivist is also okay. Another Silver Quill Campus would be good. I guess in this deck, the 1/4 might actually just make it as an early blocker. Yeah, we'll take the Reduce to Memory for sideboard. It's not a great removal spell, but it's kind of like free to have access to, right? Actually, if we're going to go more control-y, the cram session probably makes it in the deck too. This is weird. Control-y black-white is, I don't think, where you want to be. Clever Lumomancer. I don't think we're ever playing that. We might play Letter of Acceptance. Artifact, Enchantment, or Planeswalker, so definitely not worth playing. We're not playing Excavated Walls. Alright, we'll play the Trudge. We needed a playable. That fits the bill. Come on, just give me one more random playable, otherwise I will have to play this Make Your Mark. Okay, well, there's a red-white fixer if we want to try to splash the Reconstruct History. This would be grabbing an instant and a sorcery from our deck, usually, or from our graveyard, usually. I guess I'd rather just have Letter. Yeah, this is not the normal black-white deck in this format. I don't have high expectations for it, but it is what it is. Question is, do we want to run the Lower Hold Campus, not for fixing, but just as an additional land that can scry later on? I don't think that would be terrible to do that, because we're definitely more control-y than anything else. We have 5 instants, 4 sorceries. I'm just debating if it's worth trying to splash the Reconstruct, but I guess I'll just throw in a Make Your Mark. We could run 17 lands, I guess. If I'm running 17 lands, I guess running the campus makes sense. Alright. Weird little black-white deck here in the Strixhaven draft queues. Control-y and not aggressive. Yeah, this hand's okay. So we can go turn 2 hunt for specimens, go grab our spirit summoning, and then turn 3 make a 3/2. So it looks like a weird hand, but it's actually got somewhat of a curve. So something to note if you are going to play this format, if you have Heated Debate, that burn spell that I was talking about, the 4 damage can't be countered, you do not have to pay the ward if you're targeting something like a Shield Mage. Because it can't be countered means you don't need to pay the ward, right? Exactly. Pretty good little draw here for us now. Is that a first striker? That is. We haven't drawn any of our removal, but... in fact, we've drawn nothing but lands. But we've drawn our dramatic finale, which is kind of insane with not only our tokens we already have, but with our shield mages as well. Oh, they have a closing statement in their hand. Guaranteed. Closing Statement is a card that costs 5 mana. You like exile a creature and then you put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. And then if you do it at the end of your turn, it costs 2 less or something. Oh, they didn't cast anything? Okay, so now they're going to cast it. We can just eliminate their... oh, they didn't. Huh. Okay, I'm just going to go to combat. No, let's just attack with a shield mage and play out another one. There are a couple of wrath effects in the format. I think Day of Judgment, for example, is one of the mystical archives that you can get. There are also a few in black and white. There's like a card called Blot Out the Sky. There's like some Glyph Rune Weaver creature that also has a flip side of like a Dune Blast effect. I'm playing a little bit scared, not attacking my 4/3 into their 2/2 when they have open mana, but this gets buffed up. If they just attack like this, I am going to block with my pest. They might... Oh, okay. So this can gain flying or lifelink if you have cast an instant or sorcery. Why would they make that trade? You're gonna cast your closing statement. Yay! They finally did it. All right. You have 2 closing statements? Well, they're gonna have to pay 6 life to do this. Okay. And then we can just eliminate their pledge mage. Oh, it's not an exile effect. Oh, I forgot. Okay, well in that case we get a token from Dramatic Finale too, so they're kind of just dead here. Yeah. Finale is so freaking nice. Obviously, it would be great if we had more non-token creatures, but, I mean, even our token creatures get an initial buff from them, you know? Even if they're not going to make extra creatures for ourselves, so... Not bad. The only reason I knew the opponent had closing statement is because you could tell by the way that like, Arena is kind of funny in this way, but you could tell that priority stopped on their end step, which it normally wouldn't do, but for a card like closing statement, it's like... It does, because it specifies, you know, if you cast this on your end step, do the thing. So. Let's go game number 2. Yeah, I guess we're going to keep this hand. Not particularly fast, but at least we can cycle Defiant Strike on our opponent's creature, if nothing else. Oh no, they have the Arch. Oh god, that's embarrassing. I think we're just gonna exile their Arch right now before they can start gaining life or get the value from the life gain. Sorry, life, what's it called? Learn. Then we run into a Blex. Nice. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders get +1 spawn, and when it dies, you gain 4 life. I think normally the backside was better, right? Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put any number of them in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. You lose 3 life for each card you put into your hand this way. Again, this was not particularly fast format. Ooh, they have the Blood Researcher, though. Alright, so we need to find some of our removal. Yeah, let's play defensive. I'm not going to grab Reduce to Memory here. I think we'd rather just grab a 3/2. So the Blood Researcher is a 2/2 menace that whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on it. What the heck? They have a lead as well? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, their deck looks very good. Sheesh. I'm surprised they traded off the Blex. Alright, well... Our draws were perfect here, so no complaints. Let's go Spirit Summoning. Pass. Three trample lifelink, that's fine. Let's eliminate here, and then we can just defend the campus, the Blood Researcher. Need to start attacking. We're at 29. Man, another blood researcher. Okay, they lose their creature. The researcher goes up to a 3/3, but our deck's really good versus theirs because we have so much removal, you know? Like, their deck looks like a fantastic green-black deck, but they have the Woe Eater, nice. 7/6 at the beginning of your upkeep, sack a creature. When you sacrifice itself, each opponent discards a card, you draw a card, and you gain 2 life. I mean, they only have 1 card left in their hand, so... I think we're just going to go for the flunk here. Start beating down. Play out our land so that we can scry with our campus end of turn. I will take a hit here for 3. That's a really nice one. The Witherbloom Apprentice. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. So with their Blood Researcher. Yeah, that's bad. That's fine to keep, probably. I think I'm going to play defensive again, then. Holy crap, their deck is nuts. They're probably due for some spell or some lands, though. It's not a bad draw, actually. 1/1 Menace Lifelink, but the ability looks pretty good right now. And we are favored because we have the Scryland. Nice dramatic finale draw. Hell yeah, okay. That even starts to let us attack with our token. Remember, these do have Menace, so they are a little bit scary. And Spectre of the Fens is really annoying too. So now they can just start sitting back and paying 6. Yeah, that's bad. Yep, so they pump up their blood researchers by doing this. Not sure why they did that in main phase, though. Ah. Their draws, man. We do have more removal in the deck. There's one. Okay, so we need to kill that Spectre. Then we get to make a Pest here. Holy crap. Are you kidding? Their draws have been insane. Alright, I guess I'm going to attack with the... Actually, I guess I want to attack with the Pest to gain some life. And then maybe get back our Trudge if they block. Finally, they drew a land. So I go to 7, they go back up to 17. Their creatures get bigger again. Actually kind of insane. Man, how many lands have we scryed to the bottom? Just 1? Oh, I could have swore I scryed more. Did I shuffle since then? Maybe I shuffled. I don't remember what's in the format for 1 green. I guess I don't really have a choice, though. says... Okay. Are you joking? They actually drew like perfectly. So gain 2 life, target creature gets +S until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. That triggers the double Witherbloom Apprentice as well. That's so insane. So they pumped up their creature to a 14/14 for 1 mana. Yeah, alright. I mean, what can you do? Their deck was amazing, and they drew just as amazing, so... Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, they were hellbent at one point, and then every single turn it was like draw relevant, good threat. They didn't even have the Scryland like I did. Yowza. That's magic, baby. Alright, let's go to the next game. There's our Extus. Alright, this is risky, but as long as we find 1 land, ideally a plains off the top would be great. Well, this could be a problem. Phew! So we're gonna save the Defiant Strike to go along with Extus. Nice. Actually, let's get the Shield Mage online first. I don't want to play out the Extus first, because Extus is our win con later on, since it can bring back other creatures. Quandrix Apprentice is another really spicy one. Basically, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you're going to get to draw a land. Whenever you cast an instant or copy an instant or sorcery, look at the top 3 cards of your library and reveal a land, and put it in your hand. Alright, so they're going for a punch here. We get to Vanishing Verse in response after they've paid 3 life. They have a counter. So be it. They also drew 2 lands. They also get to look at my hand. We're just gonna play Extus and Defiant Strike, I guess. Get back our creature. No, you cannot do this. I have Defiant Strike in my hand and you know about it. Whoopsies. That was a big whoopsie because our creature has first strike as well. Versus blue-green, Eliminate is insane because they have a bunch of fractal creatures. I didn't note them during the draft. But fractals are XX tokens that blue and green can make a lot of. Alright, we'll take it. So 2-1 on to game 4. Yeah, we'll keep this. A little bit slow and dirtily, but that's exactly what this deck does. You know, let's get a tap land online first. We're gonna try to play defensive, so I would rather play Ageless Guardian on turn 2 than have Unwilling Ingredient. Professor of Symbology, one of the better 2-drops in the format. Very good one, although I guess... No... Yeah, I guess we'll play the Ingredient out and plus the tap land. So 2 mana, 2/1 that gets to learn when it enters the battlefield, and as you can see, they grab the Inkling Summoning, so... A lot of value from them there. I don't mind trading for that, though. guess I'll just pass here and draw a card off of the ingredient. Combat Professor. Yeah, that one's annoying. I'm probably going to Mage Hunter's Onslaught that after taking 3 here. So I'm going to go to 16. Gonna Onslaught the Professor. Go to 14. Oops. Finale's good, but it's not going to do much here if they just keep playing flyers out. Looks like they are on the aggro version. Wow, yeah, they're just on the aggro version of the black-white. I don't have a way to deal with flyers right now. I guess what I'm going to do is cycle the Defiant Strike and see what we draw. And then we'll go with Guardian plus Cram Session. And I'll have to grab that reduced to memory. So I'm going to probably end up using it on their Combat Professor and giving them a 3-2, but at least a 3-2 on the ground I can deal with. Jeez. They had a Defiant Strike as well, sure. So I take 6, I go to 11. We're gonna need to find some more removal here, because our deck is kind of cold versus all these flyers. I mean, I guess at this point I'm supposed to deal with the Spectre of the Fens instead. Because that's 2 damage in the air, plus if they just play a land, 2 an additional damage. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, if we find a removal spell next turn for Combat Professor, we're probably okay-ish. I mean, I'm going down to 6 here. I guess we're not okay. Oh, that's not bad. That blocks the flyer. Actually, no, that's really good, because with Dramatic Finale... if the Eye Twitch dies, then I get to also get a 2-1 token. Oh, you know what? I just realized Lorehold Campus was completely correct to add to our deck. Because I also have that... Oh, interesting. I also have that... I have Extus, right? And Extus has a red side. They went for Divine Gambit, which I don't think was bad when I had so few cards. I think Divine Gambit is a super risky card, but it's... Oh, they have... Alright. So this is literally the #1 lesson in the format. Might even be the best card in the format, and that is Mascot Exhibition. It's a lesson, so if you have any number of ways to learn... Wait, this is... Oh, this is attacking too, I see. If you have any ways to learn, it grabs a 2-1, a 3-2, and a 4-4, and it goes into every deck, you know? It's really freaking crazy. Are we just dead on board here? Pretty close, because this enters tapped. 1, 2, 3. I'm not dead on board, but if they draw land, we cannot beat the Mascot Exhibition. Yeah, that's also really bad for us. Sheesh. Alright, so we can trade here. Eat. Bounce. Go to 1. Oh, there's the Extus. Not good enough. Actually, that does save us, doesn't it? Because I sack the Trudge and get a token from the finale. And they have to sack a creature. Oh wait, no, I'm still just dead to the flyers. What am I talking about? Alright, you got me. Doesn't have reach or anything. You know, that game didn't look that bad. If they didn't have so many good flyers. And I didn't die. And I wasn't losing terribly. And if everything had gone right. Yeah. If everything had gone right and everything, you know, it was fine. It's fine. Alright, we're 2-2 now. Deck's not very good, so no surprise. If we can get a couple more wins, I'll be happy. Let's go to our game 5. Yeah, again, this hand's fine. It doesn't look good, but again, we have the cram session on 2 into the make a 3-2 on turn 3, so... Oh, plus our opponent's not even doing anything. Wow. I guess I'd rather play Trudge out then as a 4-2. And if they have a counter, I'd divide by 0. Sure. I was gonna say, if they have a counter, I'd rather them counter that. They got the expanded anatomy. And then they passed. Alright, versus blue-green, I'm just gonna run out the Extus. Double Striker goes a long way if they don't do anything to this. This is 8 damage already. Chonk. I could have also killed their land, but you assume they're going to draw lands later on anyway, so I'd rather save that for a better creature. That's not sus at all. Let's not attack with Extus here and just attack on the ground. Okay. Sure. Eureka moment. All right. What does the Hall of Oracles do again? Pumps creatures. Put a 1/1 creature on target. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery and only if you. Yeah, that Hall of Oracles I remember was being really, really good. Oh, they're 3-color. Expressive Iteration. Forgot that that was in the format. No, we just attack with everything and then cast like Defend the Campus, pumping out creatures for lethal. Or we can just kill both their creatures, I guess. How many cards are in their hand? 7? Oh, I guess I can't. Flunk doesn't kill anything when they have that many cards in hand. It's funny. Well, like I said, this isn't 1, but you can't keep a hand that literally does nothing. My default now is Frowny Face, even if we win, no matter the format. Default Frowny Face. Alright, we're at 3 wins. We need 1 more win, and we will basically get back all of our gems. When you include all of the rares and mythics we took during the draft as well, so... Let's get 1 more win, and then it doesn't matter. For all the marbles, we're 3-2. We're on the draw. How does our hand look? Pretty mediocre. Keep, but mediocre. Alright, that makes it a lot better. I will run out Valentine here as a 1/1. 1/1 Menace lifelink should start the life gain machine then, right? And I think we just have to play out our campus this turn so we can let our next turn. That's fine. Letter into familiar. Remember, the familiar is very much filler in our deck. And I'm sure there are better cards. In fact, I probably should just be running another Make Your Mark or something, but... is what it is. Oh no, not all the flyers again. That's bad. Alright. We're praying they do not have a way to deal with our shield mage, because if they do have like a heated debate here, that's really bad for us. Don't do it. That's fine. Target creature blocks this turn of Fable. Oh, okay. And they have an anatomy. Fair enough. So I have to block the 4/4. Good beats. Good news is, now that they've made it a 4/4, we can actually kill it with Defend the Campus, and then make a pest with our Valentine. Oh, that's right. The Valentine exiles, which makes the familiar grow. Hey! Hey! Lucky! That's funny. That's another nice one. 4 mana, 2/2 flying haste that ETB, or rather, if you cast it, you get to learn. And then, if it's in your graveyard, if you would learn, you could instead put it on the battlefield, so... Lots of cool value you can do with the Retriever Phoenix. What I can do here, though, is hunt for specimens for reduced to memory, and then exile their Phoenix, which would once again trigger our familiar and whatnot. I guess we are in no rush to do that, though. In fact, I'm just going to pass here. Sack the letter to draw a card end of turn. That's kind of scary that they're not doing anything either. Well, I guess instead we'll just try to pressure then. Or 2 first strike looks real good here. Ah, sure. Fair enough. And another expanded anatomy. Okay, now we're looking kind of bleak. I wonder if they have, like, Teach by Example in their hand and they're gonna, like, try to copy their spells. Alright, big Phoenix. Yeah, 4/4 flying vigilance. Oh boy. We are not drawing... I mean, they definitely still have a trick in their hand, is the problem. But we can start scrying now, at least. Okay, I'm at 12. There's their summoning that they lessoned for. Or learned for. We'll keep it. Test of talents or negate, maybe? Nice. Okay. Another subtraction, sure. Do they have another lesson, or are they just gonna rummage here? They've already used 3. They might have more. Wow, they do. They have a Sciences. There's the card I was talking about as the number one lesson. Search your library for a basic land. Reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle, gain 2 life. That 1 life we just gained off the Valentine was extremely relevant. 13 versus 12 is a big difference here. Though sadly, we are still losing. Yeah, alright, I'm at 7. Can we find another one of our removal spells? Like Vanishing Verse would be insane. Oh, man. I guess I'm gonna keep that. So I'm not technically dead on board right now, so... We still get to scry if we survive. Alright, they are going to kill our familiar. They did have a heated debate. Yeah, not looking great. So Vanishing Verse is good. What else? No, we have a lot more removal. Ah, another flyer. Oh, that probably does it. Yeah, now I don't think we can win. Combat Professor. Go to 4, block. I would die exactly. Yeah, that doesn't do it. We could Combat Professor, give the Valentine +1/+0, attack, gain 2, go to 4, then jump the Phoenix and die. Because they don't have to block these pests. So, I think we have to bottom that. Could find Auric, I guess? Yeah, Auric would work if I leave back the mana like this. Ah, there's the verse, but it's too late now. One turn sooner and that would have been amazing. Yeah, can't keep that. Okay. If they have removal, I'm dead anyways, I guess. Oh, divide by 0. Oh, then they were well in the clear. Then it didn't matter what we did. Darn it. Well, their deck looked good. Ours was not so good. Not sure if there was much we could have done anyways, but hey, I'm not too unhappy with 3 wins with this deck. Again, I think this deck is kind of weak. We had some good cards individually, but overall, it really didn't have what you wanted to have for a black-white deck. A lot of the games, though, if we had just drawn like one more removal spell, it seems like we would have been okay since we had so much good removal, even though the creature quality was a little bit lacking. All right, flashback Strixhaven. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for some more. Bye-bye.